Good. All right, welcome back Twitch and YouTube to just another game, Virtue's Last Reward. We're closing in on the end of the game. We have seen most of the timelines. We've got most of the information we need. There's a couple of things we're still missing, but we will probably be finishing this game tonight, depending on when we do. Might start the third one. We'll see. We need to see Tenmyoji's and Quark's endings before we can go for the final true ending. To that extent, Quark's ending, they're actually really close to one another. This is the lock behind Tenmyoji's ending. It's actually going to be longer, so we're going to go with Quark to begin with.
What?
Sigma's BP is...
Negative.
Suddenly, all eyes were on me. I felt their weight, but stood my ground. It was the result I had expected. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes. I didn't have to wait long. There's a sharp, quick pain in my wrist, barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. First would be the anesthetic Soparil. I blinked and my vision started to blur. When I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble, then gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor.
Sigma! Sigma! Hang on! Hey! Sigma! Get up!
Sigma!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Trying to open my eyelids was like trying to lift sheets of lead. My eyes had lost the ability to focus, but I could make out a blur that had to be Dio in front of the number 9 door. Damn it. You'll keep your promise, god damn it. I groaned and with a Herculean effort lifted my head and then my sluggish body off the floor. Every step was a battle, and whenever I shifted my weight, my muscles threatened to give out again. But somehow I forced myself ahead, a single thought burning in my mind. I would reach Dio. Then at last... the smudge of color faded into a recognizable person. I threw my hand out in front of him. Give it back. Give me the medicine.
Give it back? Don't act like it's yours. Aren't we supposed to share everything we find here?
I don't care. Hand me the medicine.
What are you talking about?
We found the Accelavir in the laboratory.
And Dio stole it.
What?
You mean he has it? Right now?
Yeah. So?
I kept my promise. Now you... I wasn't a fool. I knew the kind of person Dio was. There was a chance he wouldn't give us back the Accelavir. If he didn't, then I'd die with my hands around his throat. I gathered as much as my mind as I could and got ready to attack.
Fine.
Not quite what I'd been expecting.
Here.
With a shrug, he pulled the vial out of his pocket and tossed it toward me. I caught it and pulled the tiny glass bottle to my chest, worried I might drop it. The label said, unmistakably, Accelavir. It is the real thing. Clover, take it. I held it out toward her.
Right. Of course.
She quickly tucked it into her pocket. Good. Now at least Quark will be alright. With that, the last of my strength left me and I dropped to my knees.
Sigma! Are you okay? Sigma! Sigma!
I guess this is it.
First is the Soparil, which puts you to sleep. 9 minutes later, the tubocurarine is injected, numbing your respiratory muscles. I guess you could say it'll really take your breath away.
9 minutes. Once the Soparil was injected, I had 9 minutes until the muscle relaxant followed it. About 4 minutes had already passed, which left me with 5, give or take a little. 5 minutes, I would be dead. What could I do in 5 minutes? How could I save myself? I gave a raspy, quiet laugh. Even with death staring me in the face, I seemed determined to struggle right up until the very end. Okay, Sigma. You can do this. Clinging desperately to what little consciousness I had left, I racked my brain for any possible solutions. How could I save myself? How? There had to be something. Every problem, no matter how difficult, has the solution. There's always another option. Hopelessness is a state of mind. I just had to think. Think. If there was a way out, I'd find it. I wasn't ready to give up on life yet. There had to be an answer.
Sigma, what's wrong with your hand? There's something white on it. The structure of the bones in your arms isn't anything close to human. Your arms are cybernetic.
Gotta hand it to you. Open the third lock in VLR. What the hell was that? I have cybernetic arms? It was both shocking and utterly obvious. Of course my arms were artificial. Titanium alloy bones with an ABT exterior to mimic human skin. But I had no idea why. Nor did I remember when my human arms, which I distinctly remembered having, had been replaced. And that, Flash alone had seen. I was certain it never happened. Those things hardly mattered, though. If I survived, I could worry about them later. The fact that my arms were mechanical, however, that might be useful. I called up all the strength I had left and stood one more time. What are you waiting for? Why don't you open it already?
What?
Did I stutter? Open the number 9 door.
Sigma, what are you saying?
Looks like you finally gave up. Whatever. I was just about to flip the switch anyway.
Then hurry up and...
Hey, don't rush me. Okay, you've got 9 BP now, right?
Yes?
Well, what do you say? Want to come with?
I will remain here.
Why?
I cannot abandon Sigma.
Don't worry about me. Go. You have to get outside and call for help.
But
Do you think Dio will? If he's the only one who gets out of here, there's no hope for the rest of us. You're the only one we can count on.
I understand.
Great. Glad we got that settled. Shall we go?
No! Stop!
5 began to move, but it was already too late. Dio grabbed the lever and threw it down.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
It's been fun. Peace!
I promise to call for help and return as soon as I can. Please, do not give up hope.
Yeah, I know. Just get going already. But... just you, Kay.
Huh?
As Dio turned to look at me, I crouched. Then, calling on every last bit of strength my wearied body could supply, I launched myself toward him like a coiled spring. I slammed into his legs, knocking him to the floor and wrapping my hands around his ankle before he could get back up.
Hey! What are you doing, you bastard? The door's gonna close! Let go! Let go, goddammit! Let me go!
He lashed out with his free leg at my head, shoulders, and arms, but I held on. I ignored the pain, tightening my grip with every blow.
Hey! What the hell is this shit? Why are you doing this? I kept my promise, didn't I?
Yeah, so did I. Well, as far as I recall, I didn't say anything about letting you escape.
What? Shit! Stop screwing around, asshole! I have to get out of here. I'm not going to let my sacred mission get fucked up by some self-righteous idiot.
Dio began to pull himself along with his elbows, bit by bit edging closer to the exit. He was headed straight through the door, but the gate was already beginning to close. With only a few feet to spare before it shut, he crawled across the threshold and beyond the door.
Sigma! Stop! That's enough! Please, you have to let go!
The door's going to shut on you if you don't let go.
All right. See you later, Dio.
You're an idiot right up until the end, aren't you? Just hurry up and die, you senile old fuck!
No. I'm going to live.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
The announcer's voice grated at the inside of my skull. I felt tired. So very, very tired. I felt my eyes flutter closed. And then nothing.
Sigma! Sigma!
Finally awake, huh?
Where am I? I rubbed my eyes and slid my legs off the bed to stand up. Well, to be honest, it was an examination table, not a bed. Which meant... the infirmary, huh?
I guess they carried you out here after you passed out.
You guess?
Well, I wasn't there to see it. I was out just like you. But I was in the AB room.
Why?
That bastard Kay. He punched me in the stomach. I can't believe him. He didn't want me voting, so...
And after he knocked you out, he voted betray, which brought his BP up to 9.
Yes.
So where is he now?
On the other side of the number 9 door. With Dio.
You told him to go, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Is your arm okay?
Arm?
I heard what happened. Cybernetic arms, huh? Can't say I'm surprised. I was starting to get a feeling something was up with you.
I looked down at my left hand. Or rather, I looked down at where my left hand should have been. Instead, there was a stub wrapped in white gauze. I told myself I'd do anything to get the cure, even if it meant letting Dio betray me. But I had a feeling I might come to miss my hand. Oh yeah. How's Quark?
I'm right here.
Quark. Man, I'm glad you're alright. Feeling better?
Yep, thanks to you. You got the medicine from that jerk Dio, right?
Well, to be fair, I gave it to him in the first place. I didn't really want to, but you know what? I lost a hand for it, so that seems fair.
Luna gave it to me, and now I'm better. Thanks. You're the best, Mr. Sigma. You saved my life.
It seemed they shared stories while I was asleep. Everyone knew now how I made a deal with Dio and about the journal we found with the Latin in it. Clover and Phi seemed to have done most of the talking.
It was completely the opposite of what we guessed. We're not infected. The rest of the world is. That means this place isn't a quarantine facility. It's more like a shelter.
Well, we don't know anything for sure yet. I thought the same thing you did, but then Sigma pointed out a couple of discrepancies.
Phi and I have already gone over it, but I explained what I noticed. If we were in a shelter for uninfected people, why had Quark been infected? any place designed to keep a virus like that out would have a lot of safeguards to keep anything from getting in. Had the virus really bypassed all those measures, it didn't seem likely. The timing of our abductions and the pandemic's outbreak was strange. It would make sense if we'd been rescued after the disease had become widespread, but that wasn't what had happened. First we'd been abducted, then the pandemic had broken out. 3. We didn't know why Zero had put us in the nunnery game. If we were survivors he wanted to protect, then why try and kill us? If we were in a shelter, why wasn't it safe?
Well, what about this? Maybe someone anticipated the pandemic. I don't know who. Probably Zero. Anyway, they grabbed us before the pandemic really started. Then they put us in the shelter. But then, after a while, he got bored, so he decided to have us play this game to kill time.
Who on earth would make people he rescued play a game where they could die just because he was bored?
Well, we don't actually know if there is poison in this bracelet.
What?
You're the only one who's gotten injected so far. And when you did, it was only Soparil.
What are you saying? Then that what I did at the number 9 door was all pointless?
No, that's not what I mean.
That can't be it. I'm sure there's tubocurarine in the bracelets. The Adam's analysis confirmed it.
But what if the Atom is lying?
If you're going to do that, then we don't have anything to base any speculations on. You could say that the newspaper article was fake, or that the Latin journal wasn't real.
Or the journal was real, but my translation was a lie.
You made it up?
No, my translation was accurate. I'm just making the point that once you start talking about this stuff being fabricated, it doesn't stop. I don't think Zero is doing this just to take the piss out of a lime.
What?
I was just trying to stress that I don't think Zero would do this to pass the time.
I like take the piss out of a lime. How do you make that mistake?
However, I do think Clover has half a point.
Meaning?
That someone did anticipate this pandemic. That part seems reasonable.
Well, if the virus was spread on purpose, then I could see how that might make sense.
Yeah. It's not like Noah put all the animals on his ark after the flood happened. He went around before the rain started falling to gather them all up, right?
Are you saying that we were rescued because we're all that's left of humanity?
We were brought here because someone knew there would be a pandemic that would turn us into an endangered species? Does that mean we're supposed to repopulate the planet?
Repopulate? I looked around and did a quick inventory. Four women, an old man, and a kid. That meant I was the only young, fertile male. Repopulation, huh? That didn't sound so bad. If that was the case, maybe there wasn't any reason to escape. If the newspaper and the journal were right, then the world outside was crawling with a deadly virus. Why would we go expose ourselves to that? This would be the safest, happiest place on Earth. Except for the women.
The game's over. There's no point to any of this now.
No, that's not true. The game might be over, but we've still got a lot of unanswered questions. In fact, we've got even more questions.
So, are those answers going to open the number 9 door again? It's all over. Why we're stuck here doesn't mean shit. The 8 of us aren't leaving, ever. That's all that matters.
8?
You're including the old woman?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? What if the old lady is Zero Senior?
Yeah, you're right. We never even considered that.
But that would mean the person in charge of all this was murdered by somebody. That doesn't make sense.
Maybe she wasn't murdered.
Huh?
Are you saying she was infected with Radical 6 and killed herself?
But we didn't find a knife or any kind of weapon in the AB room with her.
Maybe she was killed somewhere else. And then someone carried her in there.
What? That's ridiculous.
Well, maybe we should go take a look at her one more time. Maybe we missed something.
Sure. Okay. We looked down at the body of the old woman. Vi was the first to move. Quietly and methodically, she began to examine the woman and her clothes. I just stood there. Even if she was dead, no, especially because she was dead, I just didn't feel right touching her. After a few silent moments, Vi suddenly stopped. She pulled something from one of the old woman's sleeves and held it out to me. A card?
Looks like an ID card for this place. Since it's got her picture on it, I'd say it's a safe bet the card is hers.
Huh. Looks like her name is Kurashiki. Kurashiki. Ever heard it before?
Nope. You?
No. Anything on the back? Huh. There's something written here. It says, Jumpy Doll.
Well, actually it says pass equals Jumpy Doll. So I'm guessing Jumpy Doll is a password of some sort.
What the hell does that mean?
Beats me.
Looks handwritten. She must have put it on here herself so she wouldn't forget it.
Yeah.
We were still looking at the card over when I heard a commotion from the other part of the room.
Alice, what's wrong? Alice!
Oh no!
What are you planning to do with that?
Vi and I turned and gasped.
Damn it!
We ran to the other end of the room, skidded around the partition. There stood Alice, her hand wrapped tightly around the scalpel. She didn't seem stable. Her eyes were flat and hollow. Her face was an emotionless mask. She was not well. The look on her face was all too familiar. Quark. She looked just like Quark had before he went insane. But that meant...
Goodbye.
Her hand moved, lifting the scalpel high in the air, then driving it down toward her heart. She really didn't want any part of being part of the repopulation plan, I see. Yeah, Quark's ending is short, sweet, and brutal. But you do get... I did forget that you get that ID and that password that's necessary for the true ending. So there is nothing here that is... There's nothing in this game that you don't have to do. It's actually really well tied together. Even though it doesn't seem obvious, you do have to play through all the endings to get the true one. Kind of wondering if anybody's going to recognize the name Kurashiki or Jumpy Doll, because those are about to play a pretty big part in the game. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and skip this, because I don't really have much to say about the Quark ending. An equal and opposite reaction. Saw Quark's ending in VLR. That just leaves... you recognize Junpei? That just leaves Tenmyoshi's ending. So let's go get it. Gonna have to skip through all this. Clover right now is accusing people of murder, and we're about to point out once again it was likely a suicide because we got this notebook. We went this far and then I decided to pull back. Those infected with Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide.
What are you
I'm gonna go ahead and skip this myself. Actually, I
did
don't.
hear someone come into the infirmary right after. Yes, I think so.
Ah, well,
I'm gonna
Alice would
skip
have it
this
then.
and bits and starts, just to kind of
Oh,
catch
let
up where
their
we left off.
So she was a.
Just now?
What color is...
I'm a cyan pale.
You are part of Clover. That means the two of you will need to...
I guess so. Come on now, Clover. We need to go. Alice would want you to survive. You'll never please.
You're right. Alice, I promise I'll find out what happened to you. I'll figure out who Zero really is. I mean, if you'd never been locked up in here, you never would have... This never would have happened. So it's like Zero killed you.
A lot of folks are calling Sigma old or saying he looks older than he should. They could just be insulting him.
I promise. I'll avenge you.
I mean, Sigma is older than a lot of the people calling him old. He's definitely older than Vi. Probably older than...
All right, we're out of time.
Probably older than Luna.
Move, people.
Probably older than Dio.
You guys head on down to the Floor B warehouse. We'll catch up with you later. Yeah, can't exactly leave. Uh-huh.
Very well. Until we meet again.
But yes, you're right, it is a theme. A lot of people seem to be treating Sigma older than he thinks he is.
Quark! You're awake!
Yeah, I just woke up. Hey, where's everybody else?
Oh god. Quark.
Tenmyoji's entire body shook with emotion as he drew closer to him. He cautiously laid a trembling hand on the boy's shoulder, almost as if he were afraid Quark would disappear in a puff of smoke the moment he was touched. When Quark proved to indeed be corporeal, Tenmyoji let out a cry and threw his arms around him.
What's wrong? Are you okay, Grandpa?
It's nothing. Nothing's wrong. I'm fine.
But...
Quark gave him a puzzled look. Tenmyoji didn't even notice. His face was a mixture of happiness and relief, and I could see tears twinkling from the wrinkled corners of his eyes. All traces of his usual gruff stoicism had vanished. I didn't want to interrupt such a happy reunion, but we were running out of time. Still, Tenmyoji deserved a few minutes. I left them alone. At last, Tenmyoji seemed to recover and shifted from an embrace to a protective arm around the shoulder.
So, how are you feeling?
Feeling? Well, okay, I guess. Was I sick or something?
No. You're not sick. If you feel fine, then you're fine.
Huh?
That's not
Sorry.
how medicine works.
I should never have gotten you involved in all this.
What are you apologizing for?
Sorry.
You're doing it again. Are you sure you're okay? So, where's everybody else? Mr. Sigma's here, but he's just been standing there looking kind of silly.
Well, that's rude. I gave him a nervous smile and explained about the white doors. I get the feeling Tenmyoji didn't want Quark to know about Radical 6, so I avoided any mention of it. Alice's death was something I also left for later.
Okay, that makes sense. That means I'm on a team with you guys, right?
Right.
So, these white doors, when are they gonna open?
Well, we got about 4 minutes until the primary door is open.
Oh, that's not good. We need to hurry, come on! How do we get to the Floor B warehouse?
Okay, we're going.
Turns out Quark just really likes the skate games. Follow me.
Chromatic doors have opened. 5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
You're late. Where the hell have you been?
We were having a heartwarming reunion between grandfather and grandchild, and I didn't want to interrupt you, you asshole.
Quark?
You're awake!
And fully recovered, apparently.
I am also relieved to see you well again.
Me too.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
I looked up at the others from behind Quark and held a warning finger up to my lips. There was a few momentarily raised eyebrows and some nervous coughing as everyone suddenly fell silent.
Huh?
From Quark's perspective, it must have seemed especially odd.
Anyway, there isn't any time left. We need to hurry.
But there are 3 doors.
Which team goes in which door?
All of the doors are identical for this round. I believe it doesn't matter which team uses which door.
Then we're taking the one in the middle.
Why that one?
You want a kill shot, you aim for the center. You're more likely to just miss the extremities.
That logic is flawed and more than slightly disturbing. Unfortunately, I don't really have a counter-argument, so center door it is.
I suppose we could go with the one on the left. Is that okay? I mean, we could go with the other one if you want.
Kate and Clover only nodded. Well, there's only one left.
There's only one left.
You were reading that, not me.
The door on the right.
Any objections?
Nope.
All right, let's move.
30 seconds remain until chromatic doors close.
Hurry it up, Vi. This thing's gonna close.
I know.
It's time we were going as well.
Right, sure.
Come on, guys, there's no time to waste.
Right behind you.
Let's go.
2, 1, 0.
So, interestingly enough, this is the only door in the entire game where Sigma is not paired up with a woman. In most of the timelines, his primary partner is going to be Phi or Luna or Alice, or sometimes Alice or sometimes Clover. This is the only door he ever goes through where one of the women doesn't go with him.
Chromatic doors closing.
There's no significance to that. It's just an interesting little bit of trivia. What's this place?
Probably the office of whoever it is that's running this place.
It said director's office on the door.
So this might be Zero Senior's office.
Maybe, or maybe not.
Well, which is it?
Why the hell would I know?
We should look around. If this really is Zero Senior's room, there might be some clues.
Yeah, you got a point. Let's get started then. All right, this time we're going to do the director's office for real. A large wooden credenza. What do we got over here? There's a screen built into the credenza. This is the second to last escape room, if I remember right. There's one after this, but that's it. I mean, we've already done the security office, which was the first white door. This is the second, so there's only one left anyway. There's something on it. Starting up. Please wait. What's starting? Beats me. Well, my money says that it means it won't do squat if you mess with it right now. How about you go look at something else? Looks like a green coaster. The stain on there makes it look like something was sitting here earlier. Okay. Now this is brandy. Fieri Perrin's 200-year-old reserve. You can tell that just by looking at it. I can smell it. That's some nose you got there. Here, just let me have a taste. I don't think so. How can you be so cruel? Expensive brandy. This is the good stuff right here. From... You already told me that. Oh, did I? 200 years is pretty impressive, though. Yes, it is. Then again, it's even older than that by now. Maybe it's gone bad. It's probably just like water now. I should drink. No. Oh. Now I want brandy. God damn it. Miyoji, you asshole. I love brandy. I also love the alcohol brandy. What's this? I checked it out earlier, but I think it's just a business card holder. A business card holder. Yeah. It's a file where you put business cards. They've got all these weird shapes on the back. I think maybe if you line them up a particular way, you'll get some sort of hint. Place the business cards in the correct order. Give it a shot. Probably more like that. I don't get it. Maybe you don't have enough information. I think you can brute force this, but I'm not sure if you have to. We'll go back. Stop for now. Okay, nothing I can do with that, I'm sure. I can't do anything over there. What's this? What is this? Slides on in. Hi, Rain. Who's got the PS5 today? One of the training machines you see on late night infomercials? I think it's a facial recognition device. A what? You put your hands on either side and hold your face in front of that lens. Then it checks your face against whatever it's got in its database. Oh. Huh. How did you know that? I'm in the salvage business. Every so often one of these babies shows up. Doesn't look like it's turned on. Nothing happens when I put my face in it. There's something to the right of the lens over there that looks an awful lot like a keyhole. I had it earlier about Husby's front of his computer and the PS5. What? He's double dipping. If only we had a key up for it. You think maybe we could turn it on? I assume so. Huh. This is cheap brandy. Alcohol this bad shouldn't even exist. So I think it's better if I dispose of it safely with my... I'll be taking that. Alright. Let's do this then. We'll put the cheap brandy over here, maybe. Look! The laser beam's bending all around inside the bottle. Yeah, it made a parallelogram. I tried putting the good brandy on the coaster, but... This looks like a collection of literary analyses. Any hints to get us out of here? If it does, we're screwed. I think we'd started up before we got through all 4 of those tomes. Let's deal with that in a minute. Short spear. So he's got a spear instead of a sword. This is a really short spear, though. If you look at the tip head on, it looks like a diamond. Good to know. Let's use that over here. It's not opening. Is it locked? Looks like it. I don't see anything that looks like a keyhole, though. There's this diamond-shaped hole in the middle, though. Do you think we're supposed to stick something in there? Also, could you put that away? It's scaring me. The spear thing? Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. The tip of that spear. It opened. All right. Cool. Got a key. Put the key in here. The light in the top turned on. Looks like you managed to turn it on. All right, it's on now. What? Well, why don't we give it a face to look at? One of ours? Yeah. None of our faces work. Face not recognized, gender mismatch. What does it mean by gender mismatch? Maybe it's saying it needs a girl? But there's only 3 of us and none of us are women. Well, maybe if we dress Quark up like a girl. No, no way. Why don't you dress up then? No. Just thinking about that is making me want to puke. Besides, do you see a wig or makeup or anything around here? How would any of us dress up like a woman anyway? Dude, you totally want to do it. No, I don't. Quark wants to be pretty. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe... What is it? Did you have an idea? Well, it couldn't hurt to try. Yeah, definitely worth a shot. How long has he had that in his pocket? Looks like a piece of paper. No, it's a picture. Oh yeah, I remember him looking at that in the infirmary. I guess it's worth the shot. Whoa. Oh my gosh, it's like we're in the villain's secret lair. Huh. Didn't think that would happen. I guess the recognition worked. Yeah. So, who is this girl? Hey, stop. She's just a girl. Is she your granddaughter? No. Well, who is she then? Damn it, fine, you've already seen her after all. Her name is Akane Kurashiki. I've been looking for her for a long time. Because she's his first love. No, you've got it wrong. But you carry that picture everywhere. I don't think I've ever seen you leave it somewhere. And when you don't think anybody's watching, you talk to it. I've seen you do it. Huh. Didn't mark you for a hopeless romantic, Tenmyoji. Look, it's not about love, and I'm not a goddamn romantic. Okay, okay. You don't want to talk about her, I get it. Alright, so people who've played the first game might know a few things now. Or have realized a few things. Look. Oh hey, it's the helmet for the suit of armor. Is this starting up still? It says probably can't do anything with it right now. Can we do anything with it? Okay, yeah, we can do something with the globe. Hey, a globe. Doesn't it look kind of weird? I think somebody glued a piece of paper to it. Let's see if we can get it off. Found a world map. I did I? Interesting. Did I get that helmet? I did. Maybe it's missing the helmet. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a suit of armor, okay? Suit yourself. Anyway, it's got some red paint on the neck and shoulder area. Are you sure it's paint? It could be blood. Hey, don't say stuff like that. Being in the room with a headless suit of armor is creepy enough. Why don't you give him his head back then, Sigma? You got it right there. What are you waiting for? For you two to shut the fuck up is what I'm waiting for. Stop saying suits. You must be feeling pretty tired, Tenmyoji. All the excitement can be easy for someone of your age. Why don't you sit down for a bit? I'm not so old I need the likes of you worrying about me. That's so. Well, I think I'll just have a seat then. Ah. A slingshot. Not the most impressive weapon, but simple as hell, won't jam like a gun. Can I shoot that? What's that? Think maybe it's an eye watching us? I don't think so. I think it's a target. Like a bullseye? You're supposed to shoot it. Don't be an idiot. You've already got what you need. Okay, I'll just use a slingshot. Hold on, do you actually have something to fire? No, I guess I don't. With mind bullets. It's called telekinesis, Sigma. Anyway, I figured that'd slip your mind like everything else. Here, I grabbed this off the floor earlier. Take it. Oh, this is the key we used to start the facial recognition device. Thanks, man. I guess I don't have to use my special psychic powers after all. Here goes. Aiming. 3, 2, 1. Fire. Nice aim. You got it right in the center. Okay, he can't move. At least I could put something on the wall right next to it, too. Man, this safe is really big. It's gotta be like $100 billion in there. She's such a kid. Maybe they're just hiding something they really don't want people to see, like some videos. I'm not sure I like the way you said that. Let's just open it and find out. I don't think... See? There's a circular input panel on top of the handle. Looks like the one it looks like the one on the pressure exchange chamber's door. So if we just did the same thing we did then... Alright, let's do it. Okay, so the world map. So green is connected to red. Green's connected to red, purple to yellow, white to blue. Hang on, why don't I just make a note of that over here? Okay, double check it. White to blue, yellow to purple, green to red. I did get that backwards. There we go. Okay. White to blue, green to red, yellow to purple. To blue. There we go. Good job. You did it. Nice work. Very impressive. $100 billion! Videos! Yeah. How about a moose head? Did any of us call a moose head? Sorry guys. Looks like all we got is a binder and a deer. So, a bindeer. What the hell is this? Is Zero just making fun of us? Alright, so there's a binder in the safe. 2 pieces of paper. Buck up, it's just a fake. Alright. see if there's probably not an electrical outlet. Maybe the deer. Remember the 2 pegs? Sometimes just let me do things. All right, now for the binder. Like I said, it could brute force this puzzle, probably, but this will probably help. Plus, it's no guarantee I would know. I would know the position of the things. Chris, John, the numbers on the back. M-I-T. Okay, let's start with that. Okay, so Chris goes here, John goes here, Tony goes here, Ian goes here, Michael goes here, and Bob is where he should be. Yes? Bob, Chris, John, Tony, Ian, Michael. Alright. Now, Carol likes being on the left. The women are requesting the following positions. Carol likes being on the left. Let me just write this down over here. Carol on left and near Bob. Ellen above Anne. Sophie very right. Kate next to Michael. Okay, so let's see here. Carol is going to be somewhere on the left. Sophie wants to be on the very right. On wants to be near Bob. Okay. Ellen wants to be above On. No. There we go. Kind of wish I had gotten to finish the puzzle, but everyone was in the right place. Maybe the shapes look like something now. Alright, so Bob. Alright, so Ellen's above On. On's next to Bob. Sophie's on the very right. Which there's only limited places for her because 2 of these had to be occupied by men. Carol wanted to be on the left. The only spot available to her was there after we had On, and the men are locked in place. And Kate's on the other side of Michael, which means this is the only place Lola could have gone. Book 334. What does it mean? I know what a book is. Okay. Oh, it looks like a lot like an H. Looks like a tablet. Does it work? No, there's an empty slot on the back. Doesn't have a battery. I might be able to turn it on if it has a battery. H-E-L. There's a lever next to the chair. Come on, is it really that hard to figure out? You ended up getting all the first stage new relic weapons. You don't have a problem. You might have a problem. But is it a bad problem? Think it's gonna go back in the wall? Pull the damn thing and find out. Alright, I guess it should start by sitting in the chair. Here you go. Whee! Looks like there's something on the table. Is that a battery? And a P. I'm getting out of here. It's creepy. Not like I have a choice. Whee! I know what a battery is. Looks like you got the tablet to turn on. Something showed up on the screen. Enter a 4-digit password, then press the enter key on the right. Alright, that's one of them. Good work. Take a look at the screen. Okay. Probably can't do anything with it right now. Okay. Let's see here. What would another 4-digit password be? I don't get it. Oh, hey, this changed. It changed. Looks like a puzzle. It is. It's the silhouette puzzle called the Tangram. I have no idea what that is. Let's give it a shot. Oops. You can do it. Yeah, but I hate 10-gram puzzles. I know I'm supposed to make a parallelogram, otherwise that thing wouldn't have been here. Alright, let's see here. Okay. I'm supposed to make a parallelogram. That's actually not too hard a shape to make from a tangram. Let's just move this stuff up here. Something like that, I think. Should do. Who's the man? That was amazing. How'd you do it? The puzzle was really hard. Well done. That was pretty impressive. What do we get? There's something on the screen. IILP. What does that mean? It's our other password. Looks like it worked. Good job. Okay, I actually thought that that thing wouldn't turn on until we finished the room. Hey, it looks different from before. The symbols are different and they're in different places. Alright. That's our other safe password. Goddamn. One room left. Alright. Moon. Sorry. Good job, it opened. Good work. And then... Star, moon, star. Or star, sun, star. It's open. All we have are key cards and a key. Here are your star cards. And the other thing is the key. Alright, let's go. Door lock. It says lock right now. You guys ready? Go for it. Alright, 3, 2, 1.
No! Damn it!
What's wrong?
I left something in the director's office.
You left your picture.
What was it?
The picture. Ugh, how could I forget it?
Oh yeah, we must have set it down after using the face recognition thing.
Yeah, I'm going back. You two go on ahead to the warehouse.
I want to come with you.
Me too.
Nah, that's fine. Why don't you head back to the warehouse, Sigma? The others are probably already waiting.
Alright. I'll see you two later then.
Right.
Bye, Mr. Sigma.
I watched them jog off toward the blue door. And then they were gone. Guess I should be getting back then. I stepped in the warehouse to find all the other teams already there. Kay and Luna, find Clover, and Dio. Nobody cares about him. The moment Dio spotted me, he dashed over to the rightmost AV room and slid his card through the reader.
An ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
As he turned to look at me, I swore I saw a flash of a smug grin.
There. Happy? This time I waited for you to get back before I opened it. You see? I can be considerate.
But Tenmyoji and Quark aren't here.
Yeah, where are they?
I guess they forgot something back in the room we found. They ran back to grab it real quick.
And they'll be here in a few minutes. No big deal.
While we waited, we exchanged information about the rooms we investigated. Unfortunately, none of it seemed very useful. None of us had found anything, and we were no closer to unraveling any of the increasing number of mysteries we were faced with. With that discussion exhausted, we sat down to wait. Before long, 20 minutes had passed since Dia opened the door, and Tenmyoji and Quark were nowhere in sight.
Don't you think they're taking a little long?
A new hand touches the bacon? Are you making your own anagram?
Yes, I'm getting worried. What if something happened to them?
I'll go have a look.
Then I shall accompany you.
No, I'll be fine by myself. It's not that far away.
Just don't look into the abyss too long, or you might become a monster.
That's... I don't think... Okay. Look, I'm just going to the director's office. I'll be right back. No big deal. Right, see you guys later. I gave a quick goodbye wave and stepped out of the warehouse. This is a fucking huge ass place. I never enjoy that music. Huh? That's odd. There's nobody here. The picture's gone, though. Tenmyoji and Quark must have been here then. I laid out the floor beam out. They must have taken the door that faces the warehouse. After that, they probably went through the warehouse and out the blue door to the elevator. That's a much shorter route. On the other hand, it came through the red door, which is kind of the long way around. Looks like we managed to miss each other perfectly. Well, this was a huge waste of time. Shoot, might as well head back, I suppose. I packed up the map and was headed toward the door when... Huh? There was a light on where there hadn't been a light before. What? Why is that thing on? We messed with it earlier, but nothing seemed to work. I felt a sudden wave of inexplicable, nauseating dread. The light stared at me. I swallowed and edged cautiously toward it. The machine was in arm's reach now. I stretched my hand out toward it slowly. Slowly?
So, you finally made it.
You know, you're...
I am Zero. I was the one who brought you here. You undoubtedly have as many questions for me as there are stars in the sky. As you can see, however, this is only a recording. I will therefore be unable to directly answer any questions. Ask if you wish, but I cannot respond.
I considered taking a swing at him, but decided that was spectacularly futile and kept my bald fist at my side.
Now, where to begin? There are many things I wish to tell you, but unfortunately, our time is limited. As such, the information I can provide is also limited. I have chosen two things of great importance to tell you. First, I will tell you about termites. In retrospect, I suppose that's a rather odd thing to say. I imagine you look rather bewildered right now. Perfectly understandable. The person who kidnapped you and threatened you with death is lecturing you about insects. I suspect it hardly seems fair. Nonetheless, this is very important. In a way, it will determine your fate. So I ask that you listen carefully. Have you ever seen a termite mound? They are splendid structures. Some might even call them works of art. Termites are natural architects, and their mounds are both structurally sound and make excellent use of space. So, are they following some sort of plan as they build? Are there termite blueprints detailing which room goes where? No, of course not. Each termite is simply an oblivious cog in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of termite DNA. It is doubtful an individual termite has any idea what its contributions are helping to create. But a human does. We can appreciate the elegant forms of their alien cathedrals. We can see the simple beauty of their perfect functionality. We can understand the splendid planning of their structure. In other words, only an intelligence of a higher order can understand the beauty of what the termite builds. Now, consider humans. Why are we alive? Why do we love and give birth? Why do we create? From where do our cultures spring? There are many theories, but no one knows the truth. We are oblivious cogs in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of human DNA. No doubt you see now what this analogy is supposed to illustrate. Yes, I mean to say humans are not different from termites. We trudge through our lives with no greater understanding of our ultimate goal. You might say we don't understand what we're building. Only an intelligence of a higher order than ours can understand what we're doing. Imagine how we might look to such an intelligence. We may be building some structure so perfect and elegant, we can't even perceive it. Whatever it is, we've likely been building it on a dimension just above the ones we know since time immemorial. If we are like the termites, then what we've created is almost certainly something of tremendous beauty. And you are about to catch a glimpse of it. Or have you already? Well, that's enough on that subject, I think. Consider what I've said. Now, let's move on to the second topic. It is somewhat more immediately meaningful to your life, and, in fact, the lives of several billion other people. I realize this is rather sudden, but I have a password for you. It is the password to disarm the bomb, numbered 1.
Bomb?
Are you ready? I will only say this once, so pay close attention. The password to disarm the number 1 bomb is BQZ RGJ DXR.
I had no idea what he was talking about. Zero's VA is also Sojiro from P5. What bomb? Was he saying there are bombs too? Yeah, it does sound like Sojiro. If he guessed at my future confusion, he showed no sign of it.
That is the last of the information this message was meant to convey. Before I go, however, I have a warning. You cannot tell any of your companions what you heard or saw here. If you do, you will be penalized immediately. I hope we will meet again someday. We would have much to discuss.
God damn it, you can't just... I found myself yelling at empty air. You can't just spout all that crap and disappear? The hologram had disappeared. What kind of idiot does he take me for? Termites? Other dimensions? How could any of that have anything to do with kidnapping us? Shit. I kicked out at a nearby shelf.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Ah, crap. I need to get back. Not like there's any point to staying here. I spun around and ran out of the room toward the warehouse.
Grandpa! Look! Mr. Sigma's back!
Took you long enough.
Where are the others?
In the AB rooms.
They went in already?
Yep.
Why didn't you two? Have you been waiting for me?
Yeah. Grandpa said there was something he had to tell you before we voted, no matter what.
Nothing that significant. Just wanted to tell you we're going to choose Ally this round. That's it.
And you had to tell me that no matter what. Seems kind of pointless. I mean, words are cheap. You can promise whatever you want.
True, but we've got something to back it up. Just hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Quark and I both have 8 BP. We're already on the home stretch. So what do we need to get to the magic number? Well, we need you to choose Ally. If you do that, it doesn't really matter to us what we pick.
You'd get to 9 whether you got 2 or 3 points.
Exactly. That being the case, we don't have any reason to betray you. And if we both choose Ally, we both gain points.
True, but you must have considered that I'll choose Betray. That would mean you choose Betray to protect yourselves.
But that's why we're telling you we won't choose Betray.
Mm-hmm.
Can I trust you?
Of course.
Alright, tell me one thing. Let's say we do this in both Ally, everybody gets 2 points. That means you and Quark will have enough to leave, which is great for you. But I'll be stuck with a measly 5. How do I know you aren't gonna just open the number 9 door and leave us in the lurch?
I can guarantee it. I can give you my word. I will not open the number 9 door, even if I have enough points to do so. I swear it. We aren't going to abandon everybody else just so we can escape.
I swear too. I promise.
Man, so all you've got is a promise, huh?
When I make a promise, I keep it. Trust me.
Please! You've got to trust us!
Alright, fine. I'll trust you.
2 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
We're counting on you, Sigma.
You gotta choose Ally! You promised!
With that, they turned and ran into the AB room second from the right. Well, guess I should get moving. Alright, let's begin. Unfortunately, I kind of know what's going to happen, so this is going to be another time I'm going to choose Betray, because I want to get both of these endings in this video, which means this is probably going to be a little bit longer, but it makes a good starting point to start from to the end of the game in the next video, so we're going to do it this way. I had a decision to make. Should I trust Quark and Tenmyoji? Well, I could believe they were telling the truth and still betray them. That would bring my BP to 6. I'd be that closer. I'd be that much closer to 9, and choosing Betray would guarantee they wouldn't try and escape without the rest of us. Betrayal seemed a safe bet. But...
Please! You've got to trust us! You've got to choose Ally! You promised!
Tenmyoji I could betray easily enough, but Quark? What the hell was I gonna do?
10 seconds remain until 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now open. Results from round 3 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
The only person allied was Kay. Oh, shit, Clover.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
What's the deal?
Quark had nothing to do with it. I entered the vote.
So why'd you choose Betray?
Couldn't I ask you the same thing? I don't really think this is the time for a fight, though. Look, Clover's over by the door.
What? Clover's like, shit, I've been rebelled. Also, what was that accent? That wasn't even close to Clover's accent.
The number 9 door.
Fuck, she opened it.
Ugh! Why?
Clover, wait!
Clover, what the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm going to call the others.
What?
I'll get justice for Alice.
Justice? What do you mean?
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Time for me to go.
No! Please, Clover, wait!
Like hell, I'm just gonna let you walk out of here.
Dio leapt at Clover, his fists raised. Clover easily avoided him and moved toward the door.
Goodbye.
I caught one last glimpse of her face as she slid through the door. It was a mask of ice.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
So that's short and sweet. Clover just fucks off. To be fair, from Clover's point of view, any one of us is Zero Senior. So, you know, she doesn't really like any of us. Alright, let's go back and choose Ally this time.
One minute.
And Ally! Happy ending all around, right? Right?
Results from round 3 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Yeah. Tenmyoji's vote doesn't change. And neither does Clover's.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
So you might see where this is going. Tenmyoji promised neither he or Quark would open the door. And they are going to keep that promise.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Hey, what the hell, guys? Why'd you betray me?
Quark had nothing to do with this. I made the vote.
Grandpa.
Alright, fine. Why'd you break your promise to Myoji?
I only promised you one thing. We wouldn't open the number 9 door even if we got 9 points.
What? So you're not gonna leave?
Not what I said. Of course we're going to leave.
What?
Look, see Clover over there?
What? Shit, I've been rumbled again. Fuck, how does this keep happening? I just love that look.
Oh no.
Jeez.
That bitch!
Wait. Quark and Tenmyoji have...
The words were barely out of her mouth when Tenmyoji and Quark ran past.
No! God damn it!
God damn it, old man.
Are you really going to leave?
Well, yeah. Why else would I open the door?
But why?
I'm going to go call the others, so we can capture Zero Senior.
Tenmyoji, are you and Quark going too?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sorry, everybody.
So Sigma, happy? I kept my promise. Clover opened the door, not me.
Like hell, I'm happy. That's some shady shit, Tenmyoji.
You say so. I have to get out of here, and that's that. He's got to pay for what he's done.
He?
Zero.
You mean you know who Zero Senior is?
Yeah. No point keeping it a secret now, I suppose. I know exactly who Zero Senior is.
What?
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Let's go! Come on, guys! Time to move!
Right.
Oh, wait! This is for you, Mr. Sigma.
Quark held something out. I looked down to see 2 pieces of folded paper. What is this?
It's a letter. I wrote it in the director's office before the AB game. I wanted to tell you what kind of guy Grandpa is.
Seems like an asshole.
So, read it, okay?
He pressed it into my hand.
See you later, Mr. Sigma.
Then he turned and ran toward the door, Tenmyoji and Clover following in his footsteps. I was so surprised by the letter that I didn't even try to stop them, before I could think of anything to say.
See you.
Goodbye.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Shit! They're gone.
All we can do now is hope they bring help back.
Indeed.
I agree.
I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he'd filled both pages with writing. I began to read. It was a really stormy day when he found me. He said the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow he managed to hear a baby crying. I guess it must have been crying pretty loud. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard for him. I couldn't figure out how to mix the formula, so he's always carrying the directions around with him. Also, I guess I was a pretty picky eater, so if he didn't get the water to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat it. I guess I was kind of a pain, huh? But he didn't give up, and now here I am. When he found me, I was really, really small, and he was worried that I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. A quark is a really, really small thing, and I was really, really small too. Grandpa didn't need to worry though, because it turned out that I was pretty tough. When I was 1, he forgot I was sleeping in the bed of his truck and drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get scratched. I started walking when I was 2. When he wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. I didn't get hurt then either. When I was 3, I got really sick. I had a super high fever for a week, but eventually I got better. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. Anyway, I didn't really have any more accidents after that, and I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I'd started helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from abandoned buildings. Then he'd fix it up or pull out the useful parts and sell them. There was plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was hard. You had to know which parts were useful, or you could end up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he'd explain to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, how to fix it, all sorts of things. Usually, though, I just wanted to finish up work so I could go to the theater. The theater came to our town once a week in a wagon. They'd show some old news or movies. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went once in a while, and he would only go weeks when they showed movies. Oh yeah, I didn't know that I'd been adopted until I was 7. One of the other kids on my block told me. I guess after Grandpa found me, he looked all over town to try and find somebody who'd take me. A kid from my block actually had a mom, and he'd asked her if she would take me too. Gotta admit, I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There weren't a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that someone lived with his actual mom was pretty impressive. I was also kind of surprised that Grandpa tried to get someone else to take me. Did that mean he didn't want me? The kid who told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled, and he bragged to everybody about how he had a mom. He liked to come up to me when I was working and say stuff like, "Must be hard not having a mother." It never bothered me before, but after I found out that Grandpa had adopted me, I started to think maybe he didn't really want me. If I could work on my own, then he could get rid of me. I was scared to know the truth, so I never asked him. Then one day he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. During the day, of course. He went there sometimes to drink scotch, but I'd never gone before. When we got in, he just walked up to the counter with that grumpy look he said, and I thought, oh no, he's gonna make me work here. But I was wrong. Finished getting out your blacksmith and everything's been melded? Nice. I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and set me down on a stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid, and my legs just dangled off of it. It seemed really, really high to me, and I was pretty nervous. Eventually, the bartender came back over with a glass of scotch and another big glass full of something else. As I looked closer, I realized the second glass was full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. It took me a minute to realize what it was. A root beer float. I'd never seen one before. I was so surprised. Root beer was even more expensive than the nicest alcohol in the bar. To me and the other kids, it had seemed more like an urban legend than a real drink. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I still wasn't sure it was real at that time, and then turned to look at Grandpa. He looked back at me. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the bartender. He'd already turned around and moved off. Though, so I figured he must have put the glass down in front of me on purpose. It still didn't seem like it could be real, and I was just staring at it when Grandpa told me to hurry up and drink it before the ice cream melted. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. Is this really mine? He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome it was. I'd never tasted anything like root beer before. The creamy sweetness of the ice cream made my entire head feel light. I felt like the luckiest boy in the whole world. That's not an exaggeration, I really thought that. The root beer float was delicious, but what made me even happier was Grandpa. When I looked over at him, he was smiling. I know that's gotta be hard for you to imagine, but he really was. Right then, I didn't care whether or not he found me and adopted me or not. He'd bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother but had never tasted root beer. Of course, after we left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So Grandpa and I were doing pretty good. Until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that morning. I'd torn one of my shoes super bad mood that day. I torn one of my shoes that morning, and some old drunk guy had yelled at me. All the junk I found was totally useless. The day was almost over and I was fed up, so I just grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I found to Grandpa, he frowned. He started going through each thing I brought back, explaining why they were all useless. I got really mad and I just yelled, "I don't care." Then he got mad and I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I was pretty upset and started thinking that maybe Grandpa had only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. After a while, I went and hid in an abandoned building, but by then I'd started to calm down and think maybe I should go back and apologize. It had started raining pretty hard though, so I decided I should wait for it to stop. But that was just an excuse. The truth was that I was nervous. Part of me knew that I'd done something wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop though, so I just sat there staring out at the gloomy gray sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night, and he never showed up. I gave up waiting and decided it was time to go home. I was about halfway there when I heard somebody groaning. At first I thought I should just ignore it and not get involved, but I went over anyway, and it was Grandpa. He was totally soaked, and I could tell right away that he'd been there for a really long time. I yelled, and he opened his eyes a little bit. He smiled weakly and said he was glad I was safe. He'd spent all night out in the rain looking for me. I felt awful. Grandpa had been out in the rain looking for me so long that he'd collapsed. I was horrible. He'd heard me crying in the rain, but I hadn't heard him. As I ran to get the doctor, I promised whatever god might be listening that if they would only save Grandpa, I would never ask for another root beer float ever again. He got a real bad fever and his temperature wouldn't go down for days. The doctor said that if it kept up, he'd die. If he died, then I'd be all alone. There wouldn't be anyone left to care about me. The thought of that happening terrified me. Fortunately, I must have passed some of my luck on to Grandpa because a week later his fever finally broke. I was glad he wasn't going to die, but I was also a little scared. What if he decided he didn't want a stupid kid like me around anymore? My plan was to apologize as soon as he woke up, but when the moment came, my brain just stopped. Grandpa started to talk, and it took me a minute to realize he was apologizing. I didn't know what to think. He explained that he was an old man, and that meant he was going to die sooner rather than later. He was strict with me because he wanted to make sure I'd be able to make it on my own after he was gone, but maybe he'd been a bit too strict. All of the things I'd worried about had been stupid and selfish. Grandpa cared about me a whole lot. He'd been worried when I ran off, and he'd gone out into the rain to look for me. I tried to apologize, but when I opened my mouth, I just started crying. I don't think I cried that much since I was a baby. But he just smiled and patted my head. I asked if he'd ever regretted adopting me. His eyes got all wide and he said, "Of course not." He told me that he was looking for a really important lady, and because of that, he'd had to give up on pretty much everything else in his life. But when he took me in and started raising me, he felt like he'd gotten some of what he'd lost back. That was when I decided I'd stay with him forever. Even if he said I couldn't. And that is Tenmyoji's ending. It's kind of fitting that we get most of the exposition from Quark. I don't see Tenmyoji opening up to us pretty much at all. Kinda sucks. This is one of the few quote-unquote good endings where Junpei still gets left behind. Most of the time when during a good ending, something happens where the number 9 door doesn't open, or Junpei actually does get to go through it, like in Dio's ending. It's mostly in the bad endings where Junpei gets left behind for one reason or another. This is one of the rare good endings that that Junpei sticks around. Or yeah, Sigma. Did I say Junpei? I meant Sigma. God. Oops. Yeah, this is one of the rare endings that Sigma gets stuck behind. I got something on my mind because of the Tenmyoji ending. those of you who probably have played 999 probably know who Tenmyoji really is. Junpei got left behind the building queue. Yeah, Junpei died there. So anyway, there wasn't really kind of a point, I don't think, except for 100% completion, where we needed to actually see Tenmyoji's ending. We got the information that we need before we ever went to the AB room. Now, something interesting happened. We did see a recording of Zero. And Tenmyoji was able to figure out who Zero was from that. And suddenly that was important enough to betray us, no matter what we chose, to leave. He did say that Zero Senior had to pay for what he'd done, so he clearly knew Zero Senior. The question is, from where? Did he meet Zero Senior before he came and he was abducted? Or did he meet Zero Senior after he was abducted? We're gonna find out next time, because that's Tenmyoji's ending. And that is the last of the character endings that we need to do. If we go to the timeline, it's all complete. Except for one right here. And YouTube, Twitch, we're gonna start on that in a minute. I need to take a quick break. YouTube, you will get to see this tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed what you saw, let me know. Give me likes, send me comments. Remember to subscribe. I'll see you then. Twitch, I need to get up, stretch my legs, and then we'll get ready for this. So I'll be right back.